Welcome, honors. Let's take a look at Chapter 9, Section 1, continuing to find the lengths of sides of right triangles along with the angles. Thought maybe we'd do a quick little review before your quiz. So you have a right triangle. Keep in mind a squared plus b squared equals c squared for any right triangle. If you have two sides, you can find the third side. Your hypotenuse is always across from your right angle. So as long as you get that right, a and b can be the other two. 6 squared plus 10 squared would equal c squared. So c squared is 136. C would be the square root of 136, which you could estimate using a calculator. It should end up being bigger than 10 because your hypotenuse has to be the longest side of your right triangle. C turns out to be 11.66. We have 45, 45, 90 triangles. You got your right angle. You've got these marks here that denote your two sides are the same. So if this is 10, then this must be 10. Your pattern, side, side, side radical 2. 10, 10, 10 radical 2. If you forget that one, you can always use Pythagorean theorem. 10 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared, and simplify your square root. 100 plus 100 would be 200. You break down 200 as 2 times 100. Square root of 100 is 10. Don't know the square root of 2. But it might be easier just to know side, side, side radical 2. Then we've got 30, 60, 90s. If this is 30 and that's 90, because it adds up to 180, this must be 60. You figure out which one's the short side. Short side is always across from the shortest, smallest angle. So the short side is 8. Short side radical 3, 2 times the short side. Short side times radical 3, 2 times the short side is 16. Hit pause. Good luck on your quiz. 15 minutes maximum. Come on back when you're ready. Welcome back. Chapter 9, Section 1. SOHCAHTOA. We know that SOHCAHTOA stands for opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Nothing new there. You should have those in your notes already. But if you simply know SOHCAHTOA, 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 you don't have to write all those out. You just have to understand what they mean. Always label the sides of your triangle before you begin figuring out which ratio it is. You'll do so much better if you simply label OPP, ADJ, and HYP. So when on our calculator do we use those inverse trig functions? We've seen them before. Second sine, second cosine, second tangent. And by the way, this does not mean 1 over sine of x. Like usually a negative exponent means flip it over. That's not what these mean. These functions are strictly used to find the angle. You have the sides, you need the angle. So if I'm looking at this example, here's my x, this is my opposite, this is my adjacent, this is my hypotenuse. Opposite hypotenuse is a sine problem. If I want to find the sine of x, it's going to equal 3 over 8. If I want to know what x is equal to, I do second sine of 3 divided by 8, and it will give me the angle. So second sine, 3 divided by 8, you get about 22 degrees. There's your angle. If you do sine of 22 degrees, you'll get close to 3 divided by 8, which is 0.375. Sine of 22, 0.3746. Pretty close to 0.375. There is rounding error involved. Volunteer to read. Mr. Brown. Okay, great. You must build a wheelchair ramp that meets city regulations where the slope is not more than 1 inch of rise for every 1 foot of run. What is the maximum angle the ramp can make with the ground and still meet those city regulations? All right, our slope, not more than 1 inch of rise. Here's our rise for every 1 foot of run. It doesn't mean it has to be 1 inch tall. It means if you go 1 inch tall, you have to have a foot this way. If you go 2 inches tall, you have to have 2 feet this way. 1 inch of rise for every 1 foot of run. Well, what you end up getting is a right triangle. So we've got a right triangle, we got our rise, we got our run. Let's see what happens when we're done. 1 inch of rise. 1 foot of run. 1 foot would be 12 inches. Maximum angle would be whatever this is here. Here's my theta. So how can we find our theta? Opposite, adjacent. Which trig ratio works with opposite and adjacent? Tangent. And we're looking for an angle. So tangent of theta is 1 to 12. If I do second tangent of 1 over 12, we'll have our angle. Second tan, 1 divided by 12. Your ramp can be about 4.76 degrees and still meet city regulations. Anything over that, city's gonna fine you until you make it compliant or you tear it down and fix it. There's your brain break today. We always tell you to plot the graph, but what if we say plot the giraffe? Aha, good one. Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet. Heartbreaking. Not as heartbreaking as you spending about the next 15 minutes on your group work. Once you're done with that, you do have a Kahoot. You can work with a partner if you choose. Put both your names in so I know it's from you. Group work. What do you get? And yes, you have to show the work. You can't just say, there it is. Gotta actually show the work. And for homework, after you finish your Desmos, your homework is trig in the park. Find the angle or find the sides, wherever the question marks are. Have a great day. Bye.